Talk to us about what came out yesterday of that hearing, because it did start yesterday, didn't it?
That's right, Koli. In fact, today it's day 2 of those hearings, and it's the final day of the hearings into the claims or allegations that shopkeepers in townships, including Soweto, are selling expired and counterfeit goods to locals. Yesterday, we heard from representatives of those foreign shopkeepers saying that, actually denying those allegations, Koli, saying that this is a smear campaign to tarnish them, saying that they buy food in reputable wholesalers like Massmart, and saying that the claims that really they are selling expired and counterfeit goods, it's really to put them in a bad light. But also, Chloe, one of the things that they are saying is that each time when there are problems in communities, them as foreign nationals or foreign shopkeepers, they're always used as scapegoats, and again reiterating that they are not selling any counterfeit or expired goods to communities.
So, Malu, who else forms part of these hearings that the South African Human Rights Commission is holding? Are local authorities also involved here?
That's right. In fact, yesterday we also heard from officials from the city of Johannesburg, and as well as Ekurhuleni and other local municipalities here in Gauteng. What interestingly, though, what came out from their testimonies, Koli, is that there's really not enough resources or manpower to carry out these assessments or these checks in these communities or in these spaza shops in townships. They're also saying that in cases where they've been able to actually carry out these assessments or checks in these communities, what they've also been able to find, Koli, was that in some of these shops, they'll find that these shopkeepers would actually be sleeping inside the premises, and they're saying that that is against the law. But we've also heard from Massmart, rather, giving testimony here yesterday, also saying that actually they don't sell expired goods to people, including these foreign shopkeepers, saying that they've got a system in place to make sure that expired goods are put far away and that they don't reach the consumers.
So just as a final question to you then, Malu, once the Human Rights Commission has completed its work, this inquiry, is it an investigation, is it a probe, whatever they want to call it? So once that's complete, what happens? What becomes of that report?
So what the Human Rights Commission is trying to do here is trying to understand, is trying to find out whether is it true that people in communities are being sold counterfeit goods and also expired goods. So this investigation is trying to determine that. So if when they're done with that investigation, they'll put together a report, their findings, and also there will be recommendations. They are a Chapter 9 institution, Koli. Their findings and recommendations are binding to whoever that has to implement them. At this point, at this stage, I would say municipalities would have to enforce those. The Consumer Goods Council would have to enforce those, and also the South African Bureau of Standards would also have to enforce those. The Human Rights Commission saying that then what it would need to do would be to monitor these organizations in ensuring that they indeed enforce their recommendations and findings. If, Koli, they don't do that, an important question is how do they monitor that these municipalities do implement these recommendations? The Human Rights Commission does say that resources is an issue, however, that they're also forging relationships with a number of organizations to make sure that their recommendations are implemented by those that have to implement them.